Hi everyone and welcome to Lost Boy. My name is Jamie for those of you that are new to my channel, and for those of you that are returning, thank you for all of your support. This is going to be a general collective message. It's intended for whoever needs it. Please take the messages that resonate with you in your particular situation and drop the ones that do not. If anyone's interested in booking a personal reading with me, my website is down below, and there you will find various different options that fit every budget. So, before I get into the reading, while I was pre-shuffling, actually, before I even get into that, I do want to say thank you to everybody out there for sending me the well wishes for the slight vertigo that I was going through under. I think it has to do with a recent medication change that I had, and for those of you who suffer with autoimmune disorders, you get it. Sometimes, our body takes a little moment to just get readjusted, but I'm here, I'm back, and I'm feeling better, so thank you for all of your love and all of your support. While I was pre-shuffling, I was getting this energy here of somebody here who was second-guessing a recent decision that they made. I don't know if you've recently decided to switch something up, or get rid of something, or get rid of someone, but I want to let you know you made the right choice. It is going to lead to some kind of victory, and it is going to lead to some kind of success here. I'm speaking to those who have been trying to manifest something in their life, and I feel like recently you have been starting to see something differently, and you decided to no longer tolerate something, to no longer tolerate an energy, and to no longer settle. It's really the energy of no longer settling, and because you've made that choice, you're making space for something that you do want, something that is truly better, something that is truly meant for you to come in. And sometimes that second-guessing energy can be a little bit of grieving, right? Because sometimes, we have to say goodbye to something that we once knew, even though it's something that it no longer resonates with us. It's kind of like that bittersweet moment. But you did make the right choice. You are on the right path, and continue to have faith. And I also feel like you made this decision without consulting other people. And maybe in the past you might have gone to A, B, and C to ask for their opinion. What should I do? But I feel like this choice, this recent thing that you did, was a choice that you made solely and purely on your own. And first of all, congratulations. Because at the end of the day, you do not need anybody else's approval, which also tells me that you're in the point here where you are leveling up spiritually as well, meaning that you're trusting more in yourself and you're trusting more in your intuition. And it might feel a little rocky at first because now you're stepping into something, a different type of energy that you're not used to. And sometimes new, right, can make us feel a little bit uneasy because it's not something that we've experienced before. But you're on the right path. Alrighty, we're going to get into the tarot. I am going to begin with the tarot dice. It might get loud for a moment, so if you're sensitive to sound, I recommend lowering the volume. Universe, what is going on in the energy? And what is it that the collective needs to know at this time? We have the Knight of Coins, and then we have the Tower. Both of them are sideways. So I feel like something here has been a long time coming. There is going to be some kind of surprise here. Something here about somebody here has followed the plan. The plan is already in motion, and you've done everything that you can do to execute this plan. The only thing I don't like is this High Priestess in the reverse here. To me, the High Priestess in the reverse is somebody here who's not divine, someone here who doesn't trust in their intuition, and maybe that's somebody here that you recently cut off. Also, the High Priestess to me in the reverse is somebody here, I like to say, is somebody who runs their mouth, right? Because generally when she's upright, that's somebody who's very secretive, right? She keeps her cards close to her chest. This is not somebody who needs outside validation and outside opinions. I feel like whoever this person is could be an Aquarius or Scorpio, doesn't have to be. This is somebody here who constantly needs attention. They constantly need somebody to hold their hand, and sometimes that can be exhausting, right? Sometimes that comes at a cost to us. And maybe that's why you felt maybe a little guilt, because part of that decision that I was talking about earlier was you had to do something for you. It's about reclaiming your power, your time, and your energy. This could even be an individual who has a lot to say, maybe about the choices that you've made, maybe because they don't seem to understand them. Some kind of surprise, some kind of shock is coming ready to come in, and then this is the tumbling of a false foundation, of a false mindset, of a false preset, of a false contract. Because in the Rider-Waite, the tower generally has the lovers that are being casted out of the tower here by, God sending a lightning bolt down to strike it, to break something false. So, and I feel like whatever this was, somebody here was really, really trying to do their best to try and defend something, maybe by running their mouth, maybe by even trying to use some kind of force, because the High Priestess in the reverse is somebody who it's not somebody who's comfortable being alone. This is definitely somebody here who is in a clique, in a group, tries to have people team up on them. Sorry, I'm just looking at the bowl here. We have the Magician, the Hierophant, and the Queen of Pentacles sideways. And that Justice reversed all the way at the bottom. I'm getting this energy here of somebody here has been trying to cover up something unjust that they did. This could have been involving you, but either way, you've decided to cut something or someone out, like I said, because it wasn't healthy for you. Something here wasn't healthy for you. Whether it was someone, a workplace, an environment, a habit, something here was not healthy for you. The Hierophant is also a leader of sorts. Somebody here who's looked up to, somebody who has a direct connection to source. You could be somebody here who's highly spiritual in however you decide to practice. Maybe that could even be part of the shit talking, right? Maybe people wanting to gang up on you because of your views, because of your morals, because of your standards, and because of your boundaries. I really feel like you had to defend yourself against individuals who maybe don't see things your way and maybe who don't respect you. This could be a family dynamic or a friend dynamic here that you might have outgrown. It's giving trauma bond energy, people wanting you to trauma bond to have you come here and save them. We have the Two of Swords and the King of Swords, both reversed. I like the Two of Swords reversed because that's finally admitting the truth to ourselves. Sometimes we can lie to ourselves about the people that we're dealing with because, they're family, they're friends, we've had a past, we've had this deep connection, this deep bond, or this thing happened and we were together and we made it through, right? But that doesn't make up for where people's character are now. And what I mean by that is, I feel like you've done the healing, you've done the work, you've followed the plan here. With this Knight of Wands sideways, upright, this is you already putting in that work. You've done the work. You see the truth. Some of you could even be noticing people differently, kind of like seeing beyond the veil in a way. And that might be even a little unsettling as well. Because once you start awakening, right, you not just start looking at the situations that you're in, but you start looking at everything, everywhere. You have this newfound awareness. Page of Wands tells me that you definitely recently made a choice and you definitely put something into action here. And you're making some kind of moves, and that's what you're expressing. Like, you know what? I have this passion here, I have this spark, and this is what I'm going to do. And maybe some people here weren't supportive of you, because the High Priestess in the reverse is somebody here who's unsupportive of others. If nobody is supporting them, they're quick to jump to conclusions on things that they don't understand. King of Swords reverse is somebody here who's immoral, unjust, very cold, very manipulative, very scheming, conniving. This is somebody here who will do whatever it takes, will say whatever they need to say, as long as they came out on top. They don't care who they hurt, and this is somebody here who never apologizes. They have no remorse. They don't see the error of their ways. And we have the Six of Cups here. Like I said, somebody here thought that they definitely got away with something with this Justice in the reverse right here. See, in the Death card reverse, something here is not over yet. Somebody thought that they got away with something, but something's gonna come crashing down. Five of Swords, I knew it. And the Nine of Pentacles sideways. Somebody here does not like the fact that you are independent, that you're being able to stand on your own. And maybe that's what's intimidating to these people, right? Is that you don't need their help anymore. And maybe they were even trying to use that against you, trying to use the fact that maybe you needed some kind of assistance or that you were down on your luck. But it's like somebody here was trying to use that to their advantage. Somebody here who was willing to win at all costs. They didn't care who they hurt with the Five of Swords. So you're like, all right, fine, I'll walk away from you. And maybe at the time they took it as a win. But now that something here is falling apart, maybe you were the glue that was holding it together. Maybe you were the mortar that was holding those bricks together. It was your energy that was that mortar holding those bricks together. Now that that is falling apart, because you're no longer there to hold it together for them, it's like now they're really kicking themselves in the butt here, like, oh shit. Now I need Collective's help, but Collective doesn't need me. I have nothing to offer them because I was only taking from them. I wasn't honoring them. I wasn't respecting them. Somebody here is taking a good hard look at themselves and their actions from the past, and they're trying to find a way out of this, but I think they're realizing that they're coming up short and that there is no way. They're going to have to take this loss. They're going to have to take the L. And that L is you. So you made the right choice. You made the right decision, even though it was difficult. And something here, I feel like I want to say this. I feel like you were even trying to help people in some kind of way, or you were even put in the situation to help these people, to be of service in a good way, but people just took it and ran with it and became greedy with it. Universe, tell us more, please. I'm going to pull from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. We have rejection in the reverse. That literally came out and it flipped itself over. This is somebody here who can't handle rejection. And maybe that's what they did. Maybe whenever you rejected this individual, whenever you pushed back, whenever you chose yourself, maybe that's when this campaign of them trying to run their mouth and to anybody who would listen, because the High Priestess in the reverse is somebody, again, like I said, who's going to run their mouth to every single person that would listen. Maybe even telling things to these people that maybe were very secretive, very private, like if you were friends, if you were family. Right? Trying to paint you in some kind of bad light because you hurt their feelings. And we have abundance. And we have wisdom. See, you had the wisdom here. to do what was right for you, to chase after your abundance, to chase after your own blessings. And sometimes, not everybody is meant to go with us to where we're going. And maybe you were realizing what the roadblock was. That roadblock, like I said, could have been this person or this environment or even this group. Right? Because sometimes people can bring out the worst in us. Especially when we're trying to elevate, when we're trying to make moves, when we're trying to make things happen, when we're trying to follow our dreams, our goals, our aspirations, our passions. And sometimes people don't understand that. Maybe because obviously this is someone who does not know themselves. The high priestess in the reverse, they can't sit with themselves. You know, with this abundance card, it gives me one man's treasure is another man's gain. Because right there, that guy's all confused, like, oh my God, how am I going to get to it, right? So he's just going to go back home and drink his worries away, right? But you found another way. You found another way. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to go fishing for it. I'm going to dig it out myself. There's a way to get through that. Great. You found another way. You used your own skills, your own intellect. Somebody just wanted to keep, wow, all of this drinking energy. Somebody here could even have some kind of issue, substance abuse issue, or they're obviously overindulging in something, right? Drugs, alcohol, food, attention. Is this somebody who wanted to keep somebody bound, stuck, attached? To take care of them. This is giving the energy of somebody who wanted to be taken care of while they went ahead and felt sorry for themselves. But it comes to a point where even that pity, even that sympathy can be abused. And that's a common narc move. I'm not saying that this person is a narcissist because that word gets thrown out a lot. But it's that type of energy. It's that type of mentality. They couldn't handle rejection. You know, they didn't want to be seen in a bad light by everyone else that they're attached to. Maybe this person was even being questioned, oh, why does Collective not talk to you anymore? And they were like, oh, let me tell you why, you know? And then they just said whatever the hell they wanted to say. They just made some shit up. Meanwhile, you were busy working, implementing some plans here. Universe, tell us more. I'm going to use the Kipper deck at this time. It's like somebody wanted you to do all the heavy lifting in their life while they could just sit around and do whatever they wanted, not taking any responsibility or accountability for themselves. And it's one thing to go help somebody out in a time of need, and it's another when it just becomes expected of you over and over and over again. Because that's what I'm feeling. I feel like that's why this decision was so hard for you. Because I feel like something here has been happening for a long time. And then you're like, wait, I keep waiting for somebody to change or to get better, but they're never going to get better if I'm the one that keeps taking care of them. You know, in a way, this is kind of like tough love. Because you're like, you know what? There are things I need to focus on too. I have my own life to live. Universe, tell us more. Universe, tell us more, please. Apparently this deck does not want to talk today. Universe, tell us more. Tell us more for the collective, please. Okay, so there's a thief here. Somebody here who's concerned that they've been caught. Maybe they're trying to cover up their bad ways, their bad actions. Maybe this is a pattern that somebody does. Maybe this is how they accumulate things. This 24 also breaks down to a 6. Six is about actions and consequences, right? The consequences to those actions. Somebody is... Wow, and this 33 also breaks down to a 6. That's why somebody here is concerned. They're concerned over some kind of action, some kind of consequences. This is somebody here who cannot handle rejection. They can't even handle accountability. And we have some kind of high honor. You could be receiving some kind of high honor. Because what comes after the Knight of Cups? The Knight of Cups, why did I say that? The Knight of Pentacles. It's the King and Queen of Pentacles. So you're definitely headed towards some kind of notoriety. You're being known for something here that you have been doing for quite some time. This is all about your character being seen, and it's all about your value. You're no longer the knight. You're headed towards a different level. You're reaching a different peak. You're climbing a different mountain. And you don't just get there overnight. This is somebody here who has methodically and slowly put in the work, put in the effort, followed the plan, did the hard work, was not afraid to get their hands dirty, blood, sweat, and tears type of energy. And it's given like somebody here was just taking behind the scenes. We have despair. Somebody here is now in despair. Or they're going to be in despair. Somebody here who's feeling left out in the cold. They're feeling miserable. They're feeling without. Because they can no longer take. Somebody here could have even did something to try and stall and delay you in some kind of way. Because the Knight of Pentacles is slow-moving energy. They could have even been trying to delay you on your path. Because you rejected them. Maybe they even did something to even rob from you and to steal from you so that you wouldn't get to where it is that you wanted to go. But even still, you still prospered. You still did it. You were able to move through the obstacles here because even at the end of the day, you knew that the universe was going to support you. And you knew what your value is. You know, and sometimes we give up a little bit with this Five of Swords in order to let somebody think that they win. So, meanwhile, this person thought that they won because they received a little payout, whatever that was, whatever it is that they took, that they obviously didn't work for, that they didn't deserve. You were like, you know what? You can have that. You can have that because I know where I'm going and what I'm capable of is going to be much, much more than what that little thing is that you took from me. And I know the universe is going to cover me, going to replenish me because the universe always does. The universe is infinitely growing. It's ever expanding. There's more than enough to go around. But you also knew, you know what? That's the only piece that they're going to be able to get because they're no longer allowed back in. I'm going to be using the Mythic Tarot, the original one. I think this one came out in 1987. It's older than I am. It's actually the first tarot deck I got. I was 12 years old and I was in a used bookstore and I was like, ooh. And my life has never been the same ever since. For the record, I'm 35 now. Universe, tell us more for the collective. Universe, okay. The Seven of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Fool reversed, the Seven of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. Somebody here did something reckless and impulsive here. Maybe because of the way that you shine. See, the thing that I love about this deck, I love the imagery. It's different than, you know, the classic Rider-Waite. But with this Seven of Cups, this is the High Priestess asking the Divine for assistance, for help with making a choice. What decision should I make? What path should I go down? What should I choose? And this is the Divine saying, pick this cup. Pick you. This is what you need to do. This is where you need to go. This is how you need to move. And you need to move bravely. Ferociously. Move forward. We have the Seven of Wands right underneath this Queen of Wands. And here, you can see the King and Queen of Wands are having to defend their own territory from a group of looters trying to overtake their throne, trying to overtake their authority by force. It's giving that somebody here was trying to take something from you from force that they didn't earn. Something here that was rightfully yours. It was inherently yours. Why? Because they wanted to be the king and queen. And they want everything else that comes with it. But they didn't want to put in the work to get there, to earn that crown. Right? Sometimes wearing that crown, it can be heavy. We have the Fool reversed. This is fear. This is somebody here who uses fear to stop people from moving on. Strong Aries and Leo energy here. Somebody did not want you to take a leap of faith. They didn't want you to go down a new direction, to go down a new path, to start a new journey. They also, somebody here could have been wanting to disconnect you from your intuition. They didn't like the fact that, see, to them, it feels like they felt like the universe, or God, whatever you want to call it, had more favor over you than them. But that's not necessarily the case. Again, if you put in the same work that you did to form a personal connection with the divine, with source, with spirit, in the universe, them too would have the same favor that you do. They didn't like your light. They didn't like your authority here with the Queen of Wands. They didn't also like the fact that you stood up for yourself. Some of y'all are even in the spotlight in some kind of way, or going to be in the spotlight. That's the road that you've been heading. You've laid the foundation for it with that Knight of Pentacles. You've already laid the foundation. You've done all the grunt work. You know, I pictured, like, you know when you have those homes and they have, like, the nice, beautiful, like, cobblestone, like, paved driveways? Like, you laid all those pavers that led up to your home, that led up to your foundation. You did the grunt work. You did the manual labor. Blood, sweat, and tears, like I said, and somebody just wanted to come in and say, oh, that house is mine. That property is mine. Somebody could have even been saying that they were the ones who did that work, or they're the ones that helped you lay all that stuff and helped you lay the bricks. But they didn't. They didn't really offer you anything. I don't see anybody here helping you besides somebody here wanting to constantly fight with you. And this is you with this Five of Pentacles saying, I am nobody's victim. Right? Because maybe now you're seeing how people themselves feel victimized by their own circumstances. And they wanted you to solve their problems. Because somebody here was unwilling to follow the steps. They were unwilling to put in the work. They were unwilling to follow the steps with that Knight of Pentacles reversed. We have the Empress. You guys are birthing a brand new life here, right? And when it comes to childbirth, right, for what I'm here, I'm not a woman, but, you know, everyone says it's very painful. It's very, very painful when you're giving birth to new life. But then you have this new miracle creation. You have this beauty that comes out. So it's not easy, right? And sometimes you guys could even been in the gestation period, right? Where, you know, you were like, all right, when am I going to pop? When is it going to happen? It's happening now. We have Strength reversed in the King of Wands. See how they're trying to put this fear in between you? Something here about you being balanced in your masculine and feminine energies here. And maybe somebody was trying to say that you were being a little bit too rough. But I feel like you were just being firm. Somebody here has been controlled by their own ego. They were unable to tame themselves. And maybe they were trying to claim that you were too big for your bridges. Right? And they're probably thinking, who the hell does collective think they are? Right? With whatever it is that you've been working towards. It's kind of rude. Eight of Cups reverse and the Ace of Swords reverse. So they want to come back with some kind of lie. They want you to come back. They want you to not head towards your dreams, head towards your wishes, head towards your wish fulfillment. Head toward... Excuse me. That salad that I ate. Ooh. They don't want you to go towards your wish fulfillment, towards your dreams. Because they feel like you're not deserving of it. Because like I said, why does the universe grant more favor over you than them? That's because you put in the work. You did the steps. See, when it comes to the King and Queen of Wands, right? That's all about what's seen on the outside, right? They see your shine. They see your smile. They see your charisma. They see your ability to attract, right? To gather people's attentions, right? This is the energy of like people breaking their neck just to look at you, just to see you, just to be like, the collective, that's the collective? Wow, they're looking really good. Right? But people don't talk about all the work and the effort that you do behind the scenes, because I feel like you're not the type of person that's going to go out there and be like, oh, I went through this, I did that, because at the end of the day, it's not about telling everybody what you went through. It's about knowing what you've overcome, what you've learned. It's a solo journey. People have been judging you just based on outward appearance instead of really getting to know you in your heart. And I feel like it has to do with somebody else here who is very threatened and intimidated by your presence and by your essence. Maybe this is a type of individual that doesn't like to be outshined. Again, not able to control their own ego. Something here to do with pride. Again, because they couldn't handle rejection because, I don't know, that's their own problem. That's between them and their therapist, right? Universe, tell us more. I'm going to be using the What's the Tea deck. Universe, tell us more, please. Ooh. Somebody who's been trying to steal your creativity, copies your work, trying to duplicate off of you. Using scarcity tactics. Somebody did not think that you were going to be able to beat them at the chess game. It's like they were trying to corner you in, right? They were trying to get checkmate, but maybe they didn't know that you took a master class. And it's given the energy because they're looking at, like I said, they're looking at surface level. They're looking at surface level. Meanwhile, they're playing 3D chess, and you're over here making moves in the 4D, in the quantum realm. Right? Because you did the inner work. You know that what you attract what you think and how you feel. It's all about getting into that space. This is somebody who could even been trying to emulate you, maybe even trying to claim that they were you in some kind, like they wanted to be seen how you're seen. So the easiest way to do that is to drag you underneath the mud, to try and steal your shine. Again, to play the victim. They could have even been trying to make you out to be the enemy. Maybe they're saying that you stole their crown. You earned your crown. You earned your crown. You know, the Empress and the Emperor, to me, they're master magicians. Okay? They're master magicians because they have mastered all of the suits. Much like the magician who acquires all of the aces, the Empress is somebody here who's been the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. Somebody here who has mastered all aspects of themselves. You have become a master magician. They didn't count on that. They did not count on your alchemy, right? The Empress is someone to me who will take the seed that is given to her. She's going to plant that seed. She's going to let it sprout, going to let it grow. She's going to chop the crop down, right? Like, for example, say it's wheat. She's going to turn that wheat into flour, right? And then she's going to take that flour and she's going to bake her own bread. All with just that little spark and that little seed that was given to her. And that was the one that you asked for from the divine, from the universe. That was your spark, your passion, your drive, that thing that makes you you, that thing that makes you happy. You're just taking your own inherent skills that you've learned, that you've acquired throughout your time here, and you're putting them to good use. Somebody was trying to make you feel bad for them, or trying to make you feel like you are not worthy or worth something, or worthy of going after what it is that you have been. They were trying to downplay your power. But the only way that they would be successful is if you bought into it. And that is also a form of theft, right? Psychological warfare. Psychological manipulation. This is also somebody here who, like I said, wanted to be seen so much like you. They liked the attention, they liked the envy, they liked the awe that you got. So they thought that they could just knock you down a few pegs. But all they ended up doing was just making you into, like I said, a master magician. A master alchemizer. They wanted you to not trust your intuition. They wanted you to think that it was a bad idea, that you were wrong. But you've made it this far. Right? You built your own home, brick by brick. We have a dirty offer here at the bottom of the deck. Again, it's that energy of wanting to try and knock you off your game by offering you, by trying to make something look really good. It's given like the devil energy, right? Because the devil, right, is someone who makes things look really, really good. They appeal to your ego. But really, they just want to entrap you and bind you into a false contract. I feel like you're definitely being tested again by this person. It's giving me the energy of somebody who just won't let up. And I feel like whoever the collective that I'm reading for right now, it's giving the energy of like, you're really going to try that again? Like you didn't learn the first time, the second time, the third time that you tried to do that to me? We have photo proof. There is some kind of evidence of their thievery, of their conniving, of their unwilling to handle the fact that you don't want anything to do with them, and why. I don't think they understand why. It's the energy that they're in. Somebody is intimidated by your authenticity and your individuality. Maybe because they don't have their own, or maybe they don't feel like they can be. Whatever it is that you're doing, however it is that you express yourself, you embody yourself completely. You don't hide from yourself. You don't carry any shame. Universe. Fake accounts threatening and a boss daddy? They could have even gone as far as to creating fake accounts, like say you're on social media, in any capacity, for business or even just for personal gain, right? They were just creating fake accounts, leaving fake comments here, or doing whatever, spying on you, making fake accounts, running their mouth, wanting to, again, make you not feel so good about yourself, maybe even trying to intimidate you, trying to make you feel bothered because you're stable, you're rich, business owner, CEO, big dick energy, male or female, right? Female metaphorically. It's because you're making moves and you're going places. You don't have to be super rich. This could just mean that you're super highly blessed. And you are going to be rich soon, or have more than enough to be able to take care of yourself. They didn't want that for you. Again, there's this photo proof here at the bottom of the deck. There is some kind of evidence. There could even be screenshots about all the fake accounts that they created to try and create these scarcity tactics to intimidate you, to bully you. To bully you. Because they wanted to be you so bad because you rejected them. It's giving me like a sicko, like weird and twisted energy here. Somebody here who wants to start fights, wants to start arguments. Even trying to get physical with you. They're literally at war, but whoever I'm speaking for, I feel like even now you can see this from a higher perspective. You're like, at the end of the day, they're just warring with themselves. They can have what I have if they just get out of their own way. Because you learned how to get out of your own way. I'm going to be using the What's the News deck. Universe, please tell us more. Please tell us more for the collective, please. Promiscuous? This doesn't even have to be like sexual energy, but this is somebody here who uses people for their own satisfaction and for their own gain. This is somebody here who's a temptress, or somebody here who likes to tempt people by pulling on their own desires. This is somebody here who's not afraid to steal your man, your woman, or steal whatever it is that you have. Copy your work. Well, we have tantric sex. This could be somebody here who has like a sex demon or a Jezebel spirit on them. This is definitely somebody here who leads a double life. They definitely are into that instant gratification type of energy. Tired of the drama. I feel like you're just tired of it. Universe, tell me more. This is definitely somebody here who practices escapism in some form or fashion. This could be somebody here who was trying to keep you a secret. Maybe this was a person that you were once dating or once courting or entertaining at one point. But maybe you realize all they wanted from you was what you had. There's somebody here who didn't want anything else. They wanted that instant gratification. And this is somebody here who was even keeping you a secret. Maybe you even found out that this doesn't even have to be romantic. This could be a friend, a family member, somebody in the workplace. This could even be somebody here who was even trying to keep their relationship, their connection with you a secret, right? Running their mouth behind your back, didn't want to be seen with you. And the reason why they didn't want to be seen around you or be seen in public in some kind of way is because it would shatter the illusion that they created. The one that they created by talking shit about you. This is definitely a user and abuser of some sort. Somebody who was trying to fulfill a fantasy. They're in La La Land. They're in La La Land. They're delusional. And you see that. You're like, okay. Somebody here is controlled by their own demons. But they've been caught. Evidence is being uncovered. Somebody's going to get exposed. Their cheating has been revealed. And again, cheating is not just romantic. Family can cheat. Friends can cheat. Hell, even employers can cheat. I've seen it. Somebody's going to be seen for the scoundrel that they are. Universe, tell us more. A situation is about to explode. Things are about to pop off in flames. That's the universe's natural way of cleansing things, right? Much like you sage, right? You have to burn the sage in order to transmute the energy. Something here is going to pop off. It's going to explode. It's going to come tumbling down because your energy, you removed yourself from the situation. You're like, I'm nobody's secret. Again, with this fake apology, trying to make you an offer, trying to reel you back in because they know the inevitable is about to happen. The cookie's about to crumble. Watching shit go down, enjoy the gossip. You know, the script's about to be turned on them. Because they were just fulfilling a fantasy. Give me one more, universe. Wow, somebody here was getting a room, doing things in secret, doing things behind closed doors. It was all for pleasure. Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn type of energy. Somebody here has definitely been up to some kind of shady shenanigans. Maybe somebody here is, maybe that's why they're even more pissed off at you because you do things the right way and they don't. Somebody's definitely being caught up for something that, for some kind of deal that they made behind closed doors that they try to keep in secret. This is somebody who is a hater. This is somebody here who is a hater. We have a love story in a recording. I'm sorry, with this love story right behind this hater, wow, this is giving somebody who talks a good talk, play a good game, they say all of the right things, and maybe that's what pisses this person off even more, is because they were able to pull this off with everybody else but you. But you, collective. You were the one that they couldn't pull the wool over their eyes. Excuse me. They didn't count on your divine protection. They didn't count on your faith. They didn't think that you would be able to weather the storm because they took one look at you and they were like, that person's had an easy life, because they were just looking at surface level. Keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right path. I'm using the Doors of Destiny deck. We have the Door of Wisdom. Right? You can have as much knowledge, read as many books as you want, but wisdom is all about being able to apply that knowledge. You have some kind of enlightenment here. Experience. They didn't count on your experience, your understanding, your intelligence, your insight. They were not counting on your wisdom because, again, they just looked at you and they had an automatic idea of who you are. And they're like, yep, I can take them down. We have the Door of Awakening. Again, more enlightenment, transformation, self-awareness, and spiritual growth. They really didn't think that you would be able to cut them off. Maybe because there's been such a long bond. Somebody could have been doing this for a very, very long time. We have the door of change, transformation, adaptation, transition, and evolution. You've learned how to adapt. You've learned how to adapt to different situations, different environments here. This doesn't even have to be the only person that you've rejected, or the only person this has happened to you, right? Because you don't just gain wisdom and enlightenment overnight. It's a set of experiences. This is giving me like you've defeated like the final boss. You've defeated the final boss in this game. And now you're set for a new one, for a new journey. Universe, give me one more, please. Door of Ancestors. Legacy, roots, wisdom, connection, guidance. You guys could have even been praying to your ancestors. You could have been asking them for guidance, asking them for assistance. Somebody here also did not understand your roots. Again, maybe they looked at you in one specific way. You know, maybe they didn't count on your ancestral roots. Because maybe you present yourself one way. Maybe you didn't know that, you know, your DNA runs deep. Right? Because maybe, again, you look a certain way. Somebody here could have either been trying to use race as a factor. Again, only surface level. They didn't know who your ancestors were. They don't know how far your roots go. Whoever I'm speaking to, I also feel like you definitely broke some kind of generational curse, and this is the final boss. You've gained wisdom and enlightenment. Again, wisdom's right here. Connection and guidance. You know that you're not alone. Whoever I'm speaking to, you are highly tapped in and highly connected. I feel like this person's going to be shaking in their boots now because, you know, they just assumed. And you know what they say about people who assume? You make an ass of you and me. And that's what they did. Their ass is showing. Alrighty, y'all. I'm going to clean this up. We are going to pull out the Scrabble tiles. We're going to see what else comes out. This part might get a little loud, so again, if you're sensitive to sound, I would recommend lowering it a little bit for this part. Universe, any final messages or confirmations here for the collective, please? Final messages and confirmations for the collective, please. Okay, we have a couple of numbers. Take these numbers how they resonate for you. They could be somebody's birth year. They could be somebody's age. They could be, I don't know, their sports number. I don't know. Like I said, take it however it resonates for you. But we have 64, 84, 27. We have the number 8. Something here about DL. Maybe somebody here is in the closet. Maybe somebody is on the down low. Maybe for some of you, maybe you're out. Maybe you're LGBTQ. And maybe they're just upset at the fact that you get to be out and open and they can't. That's for a select few of you. But either way, somebody here, either way, it's given that same energy of they don't like your authenticity. They don't like the fact that you're able to be you unapologetically and they don't feel like they can be. But again, that's not your problem. It's not your cross to bear. We have the number 63. Someone's name could be Sam, Samantha, Samuel. Someone's name could be Trey, or something here is about to be trade up for you. Like the universe is going to be delivering you something on like a silver platter because you worked for it. With the number 45, the number 37, number 81, someone's name could be Brian. Hold on, I'm missing a letter. Someone here could be an HEO. You know. Just saying. Or something here about shoes. I don't know, maybe somebody here was trying to think that they can walk a mile in your shoes. You know, because sometimes the divine will be like, all right, you want to be the collective? You want to walk a mile in their shoes? I'll show you how difficult it is. You're going to have to go through the same trials and tribulations that they did. If you want this, you're going to have to do it. We're the number 56. Someone's name could be Noel. Or something here about Christmas time. Again, something here about peanut butter. Maybe somebody was trying to thicken something up for you. They wanted you to get stuck in something that was really thick. They didn't want to be able to get out of something. Someone's name could be Deb, Deborah, Debbie. Something here about Texas. Something here about Dell. Maybe something here could be on a Dell laptop, or somebody could work for Dell. Someone's name could be Walter, or Waters. Walter or Waters. Somebody here could need to drink more water. Someone's name could be Wesley or Wes. Someone's nickname could be D. Something about Doro or Duro. I don't have enough letters, but Dorothy came out in my head. Oh, yes I do. Someone's name could be Xander. Something here about ebb and flow. Somebody here could be Bi. I mean, no shame, but maybe somebody doesn't feel like they can be themselves. Someone's name could be Vic, Vicky, Victoria, Victor. Someone's name could be Lou, or Louis, or Louise, Louisa. Something about fun. Maybe you're gonna be able to be free and have more fun now. Somebody here could act like a bot, a bot. Maybe they could act like a bot, like a robot. Maybe they act like an NPC. Right, somebody here who's just stuck to society. Someone's name could be Trey, spelled that way with an EY at the end. Someone's name could be Ray. Someone's name could be Raya. We have a con here. Maybe this person's a con artist in some kind of way. Someone's name could be Connie. Someone's name could be Bolton. Someone here could use the term like a guy, or it could be Canadian. I know they say that a lot. Something here about the West. Maybe somebody here is from the West Coast. Again, we have Texas here twice. Texas is very, very prominent. Something about Texaco. I don't even know what that is. Is that a gas station? I'm from New England, y'all, so I have no idea. Something here about a pew-pew. Or maybe somebody's name could be Gunner. We have West here again. Twice. Something dead. I'm not wishing anything bad on somebody, but there's something here about the West. Something here about NB. Maybe that's the initials of a city or something. I know that's a city close by to me. Again, we have this again. That literally put itself together. Maybe this is somebody here who couldn't get you to sleep with them, or they couldn't get you to be their secret lover, or I don't know. Someone's name could be Nell. Nelly. Nelia. Even. Someone's name could be Reese. Something here about Tennessee. Someone's name could be Henry. Someone's name could be Andre. Something here about Henny. Maybe somebody here drinks a lot of Henny. Something here about BO. Maybe somebody here has a lot of BO. We have a ton. I don't know, something. I just pictured like a tractor trailer truck getting weighed. Like maybe somebody here drives for a living. We have Wen. Somebody's name could be Wen. Or Win. If I remember correctly, Win was like, he used to work, for people who watched Supergirl, the TV show, like he was one of the people that worked with her. So like, I don't know if somebody here thought that they were like your sidekick in some kind of way. Somebody's name could be Wendy. Or maybe somebody works at Wendy's. Someone's name could be Sal. Something here about CT, maybe somebody, or that could be Connecticut, or somebody's name could be like CT, or that's their nickname, or something here about a CT scan. Someone's name could be Mindy. Something here about a root. Maybe somebody here trying to do root work. I know there are some root work people out there that say root work cannot be undone, but I mean, we have natural disasters all the time. That's all I'm saying. Something here about a fub. Like somebody here definitely made a mistake. Maybe they're trying to cover up a fub or a flub. I don't know. Something here about a tub. I don't know. Something here about a bow. I don't know. Maybe somebody was trying to make something look shiny and make something look exclusive. We have a fox here. Somebody here could be a fox. It could be a liar of sorts. Or something here about motocross. Right? Isn't that like Fox Sports or something even about Fox News? We have a bow. This could even be like a bow and arrow. Somebody here could be a hunter of sorts. Someone's name could be Lynn. I don't know how they spell it. Lynn or Linn. Take it however it resonates. Something here about a vector. A vector. And I think that used to be a company that sold knives or something. Like door-to-door knife sales. I don't know. Something here could be like a pyramid scheme. Something here about a pub. Maybe somebody here visits the pub a lot, or they go to the pub all the time. Or maybe that's where they talk their shit to the people who will listen because, you know, they're drunk, drinking their Henny at the pub. Something here about a hen. I don't know if somebody here has chickens or they wanted to collect your eggs. It's what it's given. Something here about a house. I don't know. It's given like somebody here was trying to take a house or even trying to alter. Maybe somebody going to be trying to alter an inheritance to make sure that you didn't inherit a house, or I don't know, maybe that you weren't able to afford or buy a house or afford your home. Maybe they were trying to stop you from having opportunities to even like pay your rent. I mean, we have this here. FAT. I don't want to say it out loud. Maybe this is somebody here who's a little bit overweight. Maybe they're jealous that you're not. Maybe they're envious of your body. Maybe they feel like you turned them down because that they're a bigger person, but really they're just shitty. Someone's name could be Ryan. Something here about a den. I don't know. Maybe something here happened in the den. Maybe it was Colonel Mustard with the pew-pew in the den. I don't know. Something here about FX. Isn't that a TV channel? Maybe somebody here is into that stuff. I don't know. Something here about feet. I don't know. Maybe, again, we have feet and shoes. I don't know if somebody here has like a foot fetish or something. again, like, do you live your life? Don't hide in shame though. Just own who you are, people. Nothing's inherently good or bad. Like, just be you. Own it. Something here about BS. I don't know if somebody here could be bullshitting. Or they're a bullshit artist. We have this bow here again. Double bow. I just heard the song Double Rainbow. I don't know if you guys remember that. Like, double rainbow all across. Okay. I'm gonna stop now. Something here about IT. Maybe somebody here works in IT, or maybe they're really good with computers. Somebody here could have did some kind of hacking. Something here about a bun. You definitely have a bun in the oven. You are the Empress. Bun, isn't that somebody could work in a restaurant or something? Because isn't Bun like the company name for like the coffee machines, like the commercial coffee machines? I only know that because I used to work in a restaurant. Alrighty, y'all. That's all I got for this. We're gonna close this out with an affirmation and an oracle. Something here about a bat. Maybe somebody here does things at night. Something here about yarn. Maybe somebody here is a knitter, or they were trying to get you. I don't know, maybe they thought that you were. I just pictured like a cat playing with a yarn ball. Like maybe they thought that they could, I don't know, keep you busy, keep you off track. Maybe they thought that you were like their pet. Something here about a TA, maybe like a teacher's assistant or something. Okay. Universe, please give us an affirmation. You got 2 of them. We have impermanence and trust. Life is always changing, and I drift easily through those changes, good and bad. As I drift through hard times, I can take comfort in knowing that I will leave them behind. As I drift away from good times, I can take comfort in knowing that more will come my way. Impermanence is an equal opportunity non-entity. You go with the flow. You go with the changes here, because you know that everything has its time. Everything's always changing. We have trust. I trust that everything will be okay in the end, partly because I simply know it in my gut, but also because it's way more fun to live with trust and confidence than to be a defensive wiener. Absolutely. You don't want to be like the enemy. You don't. Even though, to you, they look at you like the enemy, and you just look at them like you're just fighting with yourself. They're not your enemy, because at the end of the day, we're all connected. We're all one, but some people refuse to see that. Lastly, I'm going to be pulling from the Whispers of Lord Ganesha. Actually, not lastly. I'm still going to pull from the Book of Happy. But, Universe. Final message here. Final oracle message for the collective at this time, please. Final message for the collective. We have sustenance. Number 7. 7's from heaven. Enjoy the nourishment that life can give you. You are in a time of abundance where there is more than enough to support and nourish your desires. Ganesha encourages you to appreciate all of the blessing, treats, gifts, friendships, and love surrounding you now. Nourishing your soul can mean finding interesting, exciting, and stimulating ways to experience life. This is a time to learn, grow, and change. It can also mean that refusing to create, experience, and grow can be detrimental to you. Only you can truly know what your soul desires. It It is essential to find ways to understand and do something about your needs. This means listening to your inner dreams, hopes, and wishes. On occasion, it may mean acting in ways contrary to what others expect or hope from you. This is about dropping other people's expectations. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. And some people expect things from you because it benefits them. But this is about putting yourself first. And I mean, if something happens that benefits everybody and it's in your best interest, then go ahead and do it, right? But if it's not something that's in your best interest, don't feel like you need to be forced into doing it. And that's the problem with whomever you've been dealing with. They don't like to hear no. And lastly, universe, anything from the Book of Happy for the collective. Wear more color. Studies have shown that color can enhance your mood and make you feel better about yourself. I feel like I'm being called out today. The takeaway, while black may be slimming for your body, it is not doing much for your mind. And get out of the black clothing, run and add a little color to your wardrobe. You'll notice an improved sense of confidence and happiness will follow. Add a little bit of color into your life. Message received. Alrighty, y'all. That is what I have for you guys today. I am sending you all lots of love and lots of light, and I will see you next time. Ciao.